Maybe it's because I'm a Londoner that I love London so empanada. Maybe it's because I'm a Londoner that I think of her wherever I go.
Hello, hello, my lovely people. Okay, a little bit of a treat for you. We're a few days early. I don't know if you see on the last video, I said that I was going to try and release a video every day up to Christmas Day. And this is number one, so happy Mondays. Right, what we're going to do today is a little favourite of mine from back in my childhood. Don't know if it's such a big thing in the US. I have seen it here, but I know it's a big thing in the UK. And that's going to be a custard tart. And nobody but me likes a nice tart. So let's have a look. Camera lady's off again. What can I say? Let's have a look, see what's going in it, because there's going to be two lots. There's going to be the pie crust ingredients and there's going to be the filling. So let's have a look, see what's in the filling first. 3 eggs plus 3 egg yolks. 3/4 cup of keto friendly sweetener. 500 ml heavy whipping cream. Teaspoon vanilla extract. 1 cup plus 3 tablespoons of almond flour. 4 tablespoons coconut flour. 30 grams of a protein powder. 1 teaspoon xanthan gum. 1 teaspoon baking powder. 1/4 teaspoon salt. 1/3 cup cold unsalted butter. 2 tablespoons of cold water. And 1 more egg, separated. Right, simply pimply on this one. Get out the old food processor, bang in all your dry ingredients. In with the almond flour, in with the coconut flour, in with the protein powder, your xanthan gum, baking powder, bit of sugar, bit of salt. Then just add in, thank you camera lady. Right, once you've got all your dry ingredients in, pop on your lid, just give it a little bit of a pulse, just to get everything all nice and combined. Once you've got it combined, throw in your butter. You want your butter nice and cold, maybe even frozen, because then it's going to chop it into this mix and it's going to make it nice and fluffy. Part way through, pop off the lid, give it a little stir around because your butter might not be quite chopped up. Once you've got it to this sort of consistency, see all like your little chunky little bit. Now you want to add your 2 tablespoons of water, your egg yolk, where your dough comes together pretty quick. Give it a mix up now. Now it's starting to come together. Give it a scrape down. Make sure you get all the stuff around the sides. And there you have your dough, believe it or not. Just use your spatula and bring it all together. And what we're going to do is we're going to get this out of here and get it in our pie dish. Take your nice buttered up pie dish, get your dough out your food mixer and smack it in the middle. And then literally give it a nice squidge. You can do this by hand, or you can get yourself a glass. It's another way of doing it. Normally on pies and that, I'll normally roll out the pastry. But to be honest with you, the way this goes, you don't need to. I find if you do use a glass, push it down, give it a little bit of twist before you lift it back up. Sort of stops it from sticking so bad. Also, the other thing you can do, maybe wet the bottom of the glass a little bit, or the same with your hands. Right, I think this is about the best we're going to get it. So let's get our oven up to temperature and then we'll see how to blind bake it. Okay, pie is nice and chilled. Got the crust, sort of stops it from bubbling up too much. This, don't know if this is going to help me, but a little bit of a boo-boo. Not my fault. Amazon again. I bought myself some pastry weights or pie weights or whatever it is. So what you're meant to do is get yourself some parchment paper, screw it up, plop it down inside your pie crust, because this is how we blind bake it. And at this point you would normally tip in your pie weights or some rice. But because we don't eat rice anymore, I don't have any. So I'm going to stick that in there. I'll probably find some other stuff to throw on top. I really don't know what else to put in there. So anyway, I'm going to bang this in the oven. Need to throw it in for about roughly 20 minutes. Pull it out and I'll bring you back and tell you the rest. Okay, got it out of the oven. Let's have a look, see how it come out. And remember, things are hot, so just be a little bit careful. That don't look too bad, does it?
It's fine.
I'm alright with that. Right, now, what we do, important process. Reason why you threw it in the freezer or the fridge. So it's fridge for an hour, freezer for 20 minutes. Reason why you've done that is because it just helps the butter crystallise again, which helps the baking process as regards to making the pastry go crispy. Right, we've done the first part of the blind bake. As you can see, it hasn't really gone brown in any way, but it has sort of cooked it a touch. So what we're going to do now is we're going to throw it back in the oven for another sort of 5 to 10 minutes just to cook the base a little bit more. Then we're going to whip it out again, give it a quick egg wash, which will then sort of seal the pastry so that when you put your, what are we putting in? When you put your custard mixture in, you don't end up with a soggy bottom, because none of us want a soggy bottom. So, right, I'm going to throw this back in here, back in about 5-10 minutes. Firmed up a little bit more at the bottom, that's why you bake it the second time. Now, last of all, a little drop of water. What you're doing there is giving yourself just a little bit of an egg wash. The reason why you're doing this is you're basically just waterproofing the bottom of your pie crust. And the reason why that is so that when you put your filling in there, you don't end up with a soggy bottom. Because as I said a minute ago, we don't like soggy bottoms. We like a nice firm bottom. So I'm going to just brush this on, and then I'm going to bang this back in the oven for about another sort of 5 to 10 minutes just to basically seal this off. But before I do that, I am going to just put on my pie protector just to give the crust, as you can see, the crust is going brown. So I'm going to pop this on just so we don't burn our crust, because we don't like burnt crust either. Right, let's get this back in the oven. While we're waiting for our pie crust just to finish off, let's get these eggs done. Right, in here we've got 3 whole eggs and 3 egg yolks. So what we're going to do is we're just going to beat these up a little bit. Whoop, try not to throw it everywhere because I don't have my pinny on. And all we're going to do is just literally mix this sugar in. And what we're just doing now is just beating the sugar into these eggs. Don't forget your vanilla. And what I've got here is I've got the cream, which I got to all but boiling point in the microwave, and we're going to just pour this in real slow. Just start getting this to mix. Temper in your eggs, and remember, nice and slow, because you don't want scrambled eggs. You want custard. Keep mixing that. The other thing this is going to do as well is also going to give the custard a bit of a head start in the oven, so it's not going to be cold when you bang it in a nice hot oven. So bring this up to temperature. The other thing is as well, the other thing that stops is you don't really want to end up with the flan or scrambled eggs in the oven. So this is another reason why you do this. Should be pretty good now just to add the rest of this in. And then all I'm going to do is, once this is all in, I'm going to just give it a quick sieve, get out any sort of maybe lumps of egg or bits of cream that hasn't sort of like liquefied. So the last thing you want to do is eat your custard tart with lumpy bits in it. It's all done. I'm going to just strain that into the jug. And as you can see, they're the bits you don't want in your custard tart. Bring you back when I put the custard in the pie crust. Okay, right. I'm going to leave the oven door cracked a minute because I need to drop the temperature down. I'm going to drop it right down now to about 2. Okay, whilst our oven's cooling down, because when you put your custard in, you don't want it stupid hot because you don't want to cook it too quickly. You basically just want to warm it up and get the eggs up to about, I think it's about like 160 to 167 Fahrenheit. That's at the temperature the eggs set. So wait for the oven to cool down, then I'm going to put the pastry back, or sorry, the crust back on the shelf, push the shelf in, and then put the custard in, because when I tried the pumpkin the other day and I done that, I put it on, I pushed the shelf stuck, and all the pumpkin went bottom of the stove. So back in a sec when the oven's cooled down. Right, oven's down to temperature. So get it at the point where I can slide it in and not spill everything everywhere. Pour our custard mixture in. Let's leave that now for about, I think it's about 20 minutes. Oh, I forgot something, my bad. And I've got to pull it out again. What a nightmare. I forgot. Don't stop it, don't stop it. Forgot the nutmeg. The most important ingredient. Okay, I would have liked fresh nutmeg, but I don't have any, so I'm going to have to just use the jar stuff. And the nice thing with the nutmeg is it is literally going to just float on the surface of this, and you want to get a really decent coating of nutmeg, because that's what's going to give you that lovely crust as it cooks and flavour. Okay, please forgive my sloppiness, but that's the best I'm going to do. Let's bump this in. Right, again, back in about 20 minutes. Okay, let's check this. One of the ways you can tell. Tap, bit of a wobble. Let me just check the temperature. Touch over. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just leave it in now, because I don't want the top to crack. Get me a wooden spoon, let that cool down gently, and then hopefully the top won't crack. And then I'll bring you back when it's finally cooled down and we'll take a look at it. Okay, it was a long day yesterday. I couldn't be asked to wait any longer for it to chill down, so I threw it in the fridge, left it in there overnight, and we're now today, as you see, I'm in different attire. So let's cut into this, see what it come out like. Proof of the pudding's in the eating. And before I forget, hit all the like buttons, comment, subscribe, blah blah blah. But hitting that like button tells everybody else it was a good video, so they can have a laugh. So anyway, I'm gonna enough rabbit. Let's cut into this and see what it's like. It feels firm. Remember, first cut is always the hardest. This is where we fall apart. It's getting there. Oh, we're breaking. Hang on. Come out, wherever you are. Okay.
Oh, that looks pretty good.
Whoop.
Whoa.
It's alive. So me first, because I'm always the guinea pig. Don't want camera lady tasting nastier stuff, so. What's that? Oh. Oh. That takes me back to my childhood. That is custard tart. That is unbelievable. So, oh hang on. Don't want the germaphobes moaning. Sharing forks with camera lady. Right. Come on, hit me with it. Tell me it's not just me.
No, that's really good.
You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm rocking and rolling on this one. This is great.
Yeah.
Pastry come out okay. It's not, I don't know whether, because it's been, what do you think? It's been in the fridge, because it's not soft, but it's not crunchy like pastry, is it? I think it might have been last night if we'd have done it and the pastry hadn't been in the fridge. But
it's not going to be the same because we don't use the same flour.
No, but I still think because it's been in the fridge, do you think that made it? But anyway, it's good.
I think
good.
it's good.
I've got no complaints about it whatsoever.
No, it's just fine.
Rock on. I'm really chuffed. I know I seem excited, but like I used to eat these as a kid. I used to like eat all the pastry, get the little ones, eat all the pastry around the outside, so I ended up with just a custard like in your mouth. My mum used to
I know somebody else used to do that.
Sorry?
I said I know somebody else who used to do that.
Who used to do that?
Your daughter.
My daughter, yeah, Bash, you've met her. Okay. Right, this was Monday's video. So, I'm going to sort of try and bang another one out, get it done for Tuesday. So, see you in 24 hours or so. See you tomorrow. Until then, laters.
Maybe it's because I'm a Londoner that I love London so empanada. Maybe it's because I'm a Londoner that I think of her wherever I go.